So Donald Trump got hosed by the media. Is there anybody who disagrees with that? Anybody? Please write to me, bill@BillO'Reilly.com, bill@BillO'Reilly.com. If you don't think that Donald Trump got hosed by the media, the corporate media and the social media, please write to me and explain your point of view, and I will use it on Monday. Okay, so I picked out 4 stories that are so clear. There is no excuse. There is no anything. The first story is when the church across the street from the White House was burned by the Floyd protesters. You remember that. So there were people protesting in front of the White House in Lafayette Park. They were cleared out of there so Donald Trump, the president, could go to that church, St. John's, and express his dismay. There he is. So the protesters were cleared out. Now, the left-wing media, the corporate media, basically said Trump ordered the protesters to be gassed and abused and beaten up. You heard it over and over and over and over. Wasn't true. All right? So a government investigation, and remember, Trump's not president anymore. This is Biden's administration. All right? Says, yeah, the protesters were forced out of the park, but Trump didn't have anything to do with it. Didn't come from him. No influence, they said, in clearing the Lafayette Park protesters. So just think back. And remember, CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, Washington Post, bang, bang, day in, day out. Fascist Trump. Totally false. Second story, Michael Flynn, Russia. This was Brian Ross. Now, I know Mr. Ross. He's a good reporter. But like all the others in the corporate media, this is Disney at ABC, he takes anonymous sources. I don't take anonymous sources. Got it? I don't do that because I can't trust it. I got to back it up. Ross didn't. So Ross put out a report that said that Flynn was prepared to testify that President Trump directed him to make contact with the Russians during the course of the 2016 campaign. That's a quote, directed him to make contact with Russians. It's a lie. Ross was fired, Brian Ross, and ABC issued a statement. We deeply regret and apologize for the serious error we made yesterday. The report conveyed by Brian Ross during the special report had not been fully vetted through our editorial standards process, unquote. Bull. All right? They use anonymous sources, ABC, all the time. All right? This is just bull. Ross made a huge mistake by not outing the anonymous source that lied to him. But be that as it may, this is another story that went wild and was false. Number 3, the Wuhan lab leak. So Donald Trump say, hey, in April 2020, this might have come out of that lab. And for that, he was kicked off Facebook. Boom, out of there. Now, Facebook says, we're not going to kick anybody out anymore if you say the Wuhan lab may have been responsible for leaking COVID. But from February to May, you couldn't get anything on Facebook because now there is evidence that there was a leak out of that lab. That's 3. Last one, all right? And I hope this isn't boring, but I think we all need to be refreshed on how corrupt the corporate media and social media are in this country, which is why only 29% of people trust them. But the media claimed Donald Trump never condemned white supremacy. Roll tape.
You were asked point blank to denounce white supremacy. In the moment, you didn't. You asked some follow-up questions. Who specifically? A couple of days later, on a different show, you denounced white supremacy.
No, you
My
always
question to you is,
you've done this to
why
me and
does
everybody.
It seem like
I denounce white supremacy, okay?
You did 2 days later.
I've denounced white supremacy for years, but you always do it. You always start off with a question. You didn't ask Joe Biden whether or not he denounces Antifa.
Okay, so at the terrible incident in Charlottesville, President Trump clearly denounced white supremacy. All right, and they use that to say, good people on both sides. If you read the United States of Trump, I've got every syllable. All right, so, and again, I write these books for history. So way back, Trump had denounced white supremacy. That's not what Trump does. He doesn't like extremists. Right? He's not in that world. But Savannah Guthrie, the Today Show woman, she does what she's told. She's like Joe Biden. So the producer said, we can get Trump with the white supremacy stuff. Okay. You think Savannah Guthrie would read the United States of Trump and actually try to find out the truth about Donald Trump's mentality toward white supremacy? Do you think she'd ever do that? No. Doesn't care. Wants to get Trump because she knows that's what NBC and Comcast want her to do.